This Friday, a new movie came on to streaming, The Tomorrow War, starring Chris Pratt, and Yvonne Strahovski, J.K. Simmons, Mehdi Gilpin. It looked, I remember seeing the earlier, when they were working on filming this movie, Chris Pratt was really hyping it up. They actually put out, I think when they were probably done shooting the movie, they put out a behind the scenes image. Here it is right now with all the cast. It was an interesting premise. People 30 years in the future come into the present day and tell people that in 30 years humanity is going to be wiped out by an alien race. We need all available perfect people to come with us to the future and try and eradicate this alien species, or else humanity is over. The first trailer I wasn't too big on. I thought the second trailer was a lot better. And so Friday night I finally said, you know what? I'm going to sit down and watch this. Why not? It's 4th of July weekend. This does have a little bit of an Independence Day vibe to it. I've seen an Independence Day a lot, so let's see something new. So I sat down and I watched it, and I will admit I enjoyed this movie way more than I thought. I thought the first 2 acts of the movie were very good. It has the action, it has the human stuff, the drama, it has some humor, it has some emotional stuff. The aliens themselves, the design of the aliens is great. I was like, okay, this is a really scary, intimidating, unique look to this alien species that doesn't feel like we've seen it like 100 times in other varying forms in other movies. Chris Pratt, once again, how do you not like Chris Pratt? I remember that, before the days of Moneyball in 2011, or before the days of Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy, or before Owen in Jurassic World, there was a young man, overweight, sitting in a dorm, not me, sitting in a dorm with this girl named Summer, and he was a hippie, smoking weed, and that, my friends, is when I finally noticed Chris Pratt. In the 4th season of The OC, he was one of Rachel Milson, the actress playing the role of Summer, her new friends in college, and there was a young Chris Pratt just sitting there. Nobody probably remembers that he was on The OC. Just like a lot of actors that were on The OC, like Olivia Wilde is another one, really got their start on that show. And then we saw him in Wanted, the Angelina Jolie, James McAvoy movie. He was the friend of McAvoy that was also banging McAvoy's girlfriend at the beginning, and his co-worker at work. And now here we are. Chris Pratt is now one of the most desirable, most sought-after actors out there today. He has 2 franchises on his shoulders, Guardians and Jurassic World. And here he does it all. He's the action guy. He brings some drama, emotional moments, humor. He brings such a range to the role that you're watching it for him. We also got Yvonne Strahovski from Chuck and The Handmaid's Tale. She is very good in the movie. She has a couple scenes in this movie that, she does realize we're just making an alien movie, right? This is not an Oscar movie. But she gives like a level of acting that you're like, I don't think she knows what movie she's in. Because she does such a great job in a couple scenes that, that really adds to the movie, especially in the dramatic, emotional moments. Then we also have J.K. Simmons. I mean, who doesn't like J.K. Simmons? I actually remember a behind-the-scenes photo, or a photo of him in the gym working out. And everyone thought that was going to be for the Batman v Superman movie, or the Justice League movie. And no one could figure out, and then that movie came out like, oh, he doesn't look that big in the role. So what movie was he working out for? And then you see the Tomorrow War, and you go, oh, now I know. I see now. I think you can give Ben Affleck a run for his money. So he's, once again, always good in the role. Let me see. Like I said, the first two acts were very good. A lot of action, a lot of drama, edge of your seat stuff. The alien design is amazing. The action scenes are really well done. Chris McKay is the director. He did the Lego Batman movie a few years ago, and now he jumped over to live action. He handles the action scenes very well, and like I said, the acting, when the main job of a director is to get the best acting out of your actors, and I think he does a very good job here. In terms of, I also like the sci-fi aspect of this movie. Having to jump 30 years into the future, coming through back in time to get people to go fight a war. And, and in there they have like 7 days. Every 7 days, and those people survive, they can go back home, and then they bring another group of people in for another 7 days. That's one of the interesting sci-fi. There's a few other interesting sci-fi aspects to this movie, but I don't want to go into. I mean, they can be spoilery for some. But overall, as a sci-fi film and an alien film, it's really cool. Now let me get into some negatives. One of my main negatives is the third act. In the first two acts, they're like up here, but then the third act kind of just drops. And I'm not saying it's bad. There's some really interesting stuff in here. And it gives more history of where these aliens came from and how they got here. And that was interesting. But there are moments that just completely slow the movie down from this build up and intensity of the first two acts. And then we just go, in some ways, there was a moment that you thought, oh, the movie's going to end here. And then we go for another 20 minutes. And you're like, okay, I like that you didn't just stop it there and put a little nice bow on it. You think we would have still had a lot more questions than answers? But at the same time, by adding that 20 extra minutes, you really slow the momentum down. And, you definitely feel it. Going into the other negative, this movie is like 2 hours and 18 minutes. Like I said, if you cut out, and you speed up the third act, and maybe cut out a couple of things in the beginning of the movie, you would have had a nice 2-hour movie in here, rather than a 2 hour and 18-minute movie. And I think that would have been a more roller coaster of a ride than going through this roller coaster and doing the loop-de-loop, the turns, and then you just have a flat surface and you just slow down. And you're just like, come on, we've gotten this far, let's push all the way to the end. Overall, I do like the movie. Like I say, if you don't want to watch Independence Day this weekend, I think this is a good substitute. I wish this was in theaters. Like I said, it was originally supposed to be a theatrical experience, because it was by Paramount. The people behind Mission Impossible and the new Top Gun and A Quiet Place film, so I don't know why they put A Quiet Place in theaters, but not this movie. Only like a month apart. But if you do have a big screen at home and you have surround sound, this is the perfect movie for that. You get the full experience. So I would give this movie a 4 out of 5. Like I said, if it wasn't for that third act, I probably would have put this even higher. Because of that third act being just a complete nosedive into Slowville, I think a 4 out of 5 does this movie well. And I do recommend you watch it if you are at home. And like I said, if you don't want to watch Independence Day this weekend, this is probably a good substitute for that. And once again, Matt the Matt here, like my channel, like Attack Matt Productions on YouTube. Go down to the scroll down on the right and hit subscribe and become a subscriber. Then you can watch our stuff all the time. I like to try and put up at least a couple of videos a week. But, you know, stuff happens. Life stuff happens. So, like and subscribe. I'll have more stuff coming this week. Coming today even. But for now, and then if you want to watch a movie, something new, Tomorrow War is a good movie to watch at home.